Can you guys see? Good. All right. Finishing materials for kitchen. We know we have a lot of materials to talk about it. This subject, it's pretty much extensive. It's not it's not only tiling. We need to go over more and more materials, more and more different kind of materials. But today, I will focus more on this particular merchandise, tiling, made ceramic and porcelain, because it's so far it's the most popular in kitchen. But it doesn't mean I won't talk about other kind of materials. So I like to introduce this to you because that's the most common question for me when I receive customer in the store. And I'm pretty sure the same question will be they will do for you when you start to your professional life as a designer. Your customer, they will make this question. Okay, I want to do my kitchen, and I'm in doubt what kind of material we use in the floor and the wall. Which one is the most durable? And then, as you can see, ceramic, because ceramic was first used for far back in history. If you see this picture belongs to a Roman ruin in Italy. So it has about 2,000 years. It's a sauna, it's a thermal in Rome. So look at this. This is a mini tile. It's made of ceramic in the wall and some in the floor and some in the wall. And even though if you can go a little bit far in the history, if you see here, in Mesopotamia, they found that ruins dating 4,000 years with ceramic, like this, for example, in the wall. This is ceramic. You can see the painting is still there, the colors a little bit fade, but okay, 4,000 years. Of course, is there for a long time. We won't live for 1,000 years, but the customers, when they make a question about materials, they say that's the best answer, lasts 4,000 years. But it has a price. So we'll talk about cost later, but it comes with a price. It's not the cheapest option, but it lasts longer. And then because it lasts longer, we need to think about one type I will suggest for you now. Let me stop sharing because I want you to see my face. It lasts a long time. One thing I don't do, I never did when I design a kitchen and I suggest a tile, is to choose something is fashionable now. Why? Because you guys know what is fashionable today in 2 years could be a little bit tacky. And because this process to install flooring, ceramic and porcelain is so expensive, so dramatic to remove, so you cannot think about, okay, every 2 years I'll change the tile. Nobody does it. Nobody do that. It's so crazy. The price is so high. When you set a tile there, doesn't matter ceramic or porcelain, it's supposed to be there for a long time. So my suggestion is, okay, this tile is really beautiful. This color is so trendy, but I can use this color in different materials, not in the tile, because maybe in 1-2 years, your customer will be, okay, I don't like this color anymore, but you cannot change. It's a lot of price. It's a lot of money for it. So my suggestion is be careful what trend is about tiles, okay? All right, 4,000 years, ceramic being last, so it's a really good material to put in the floor and the wall. There you go. Nowadays, we have two similar products available, similar products. One is called glazed ceramic tile and the other porcelain tile. And it's common, people come to the store and make the question, what's the difference between ceramic and porcelain? Basically, it's the same similar product. They made from clay. They are baked in a kiln, but the process and the raw material each one use is a little bit different. Sometimes it's more, it makes a big difference in terms of quality and durability. So the glazed ceramic is this guy you can find any store nowadays. The glazed ceramic tile is, unlike porcelain, it's a soft-bodied molded ceramic tile. The glaze sheds moisture, but the tile is not impervious. That's the first type I always give to my customer. Okay, ceramic, they are not impervious. You cannot use ceramic, for example, in a shower. Even the glazed one like this, which guarantees some moisture resistant, but I'm not confident to say, okay, use it in a shower. But I'm going to talk about bathroom now. I talk about kitchen. So ceramic is not meant to be used in a wet area. You cannot use ceramic outdoor. Ceramic, it's resistant, but it's not for high traffic. There's a note in the next aisle, the guy put high traffic, but I will highlight, I don't think it's a good product for high traffic. If it's in a house, you have, okay, my house has a high traffic, it's one thing. Ceramic in the floor goes really well. But if I'm designing a kitchen in a restaurant, for example, commercial kitchen, I will never will design ceramic in the floor for that kitchen. I will just, if I suggest porcelain. So ceramic tile are slices of clay fired at temperatures between 1,900 and 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. The clay may be coated with a glaze that covers the surface, or it may be mixed with the dye and fired. Some ceramic they can mix, but most of them they only has this coat here on top of the surface, like this. If you see this ceramic, this color is not the same on the let's say the core of the material. It only comes on the top. This is the big difference of the ceramic. Glazed ceramic it's the most popular now. As you can see, I just said in the slide before, it's a soft-bodied molded ceramic tile. The glaze shed the moisture, but the tile is not impervious. Because the glaze can produce an extremely slippery surface, floor tiles are usually finished with a textured surface or raised design to increase traction. But there are more ceramic tile, not only glazed. I will show for you in the next slide. So what's the difference between floor tile and wall tile? So it's easy to do the identification. You don't need to memorize anything. If you look here in the boxes, all the boxes of the ceramic, when you go to your store, it can be the Home Depot, can be the Lowe's, can be whatever, you see the manufacturer explain. In this case, here is for this tile, this 18 by 18 tile is for floor. And this here is for wall. And some come with the note floor and wall at the same time. So we don't need to memorize which one is one. The manufacturer will explain you, okay? Floor tile is made thicker and harder to withstand foot traffic, appliance, and furniture. And most have added texture to reduce the risk of slips. Wall tile tends to be thinner, smoother, and more delicate. Never, ever install wall tile in the floor, never, okay? It's also much slicker when it's wet, which is why wall tile is not recommended underfoot. So you can use the floor tile in the wall. Some people use it, but because it's more heavy, more thick, maybe you can have a problem, but it's not a problem if you use it, but the other way around, never do that, okay? So glazed ceramic tile, this is the guide you will see most common nowadays in the houses. But there are another kind of ceramic, not glazed. And, it's the regular ceramic, I'll call it regular ceramic. Made from clay and other natural resources. It's chosen often because it's durable and works well in virtually every room in the house. A popular type includes terracotta, I will show you what terracotta is, which can be a glazed tile or unglazed quarry tile, and used as floor tiles as well as subway tile. I'll explain what is subway tile, which is often used as shower tiles and for kitchen walls. These subway tiles, I will explain. This is the only ceramic tile we can use in a shower because it's so glossy, has a really strong enamel or cover the surface. The water we won't penetrate. That's the only one we can use in a shower. Okay, okay, glazed. Features liquid glass coating that helps resist stains, scratches, fire, and fading. This is the glaze is, but it's not waterproofing. Unglazed, no coating, even color all the way through, must be treated to resist stains. Ideal for high traffic areas. I have a concern about this. It's this domestic high traffic areas, it's okay, but for commercial high traffic areas, no. So weighted base at an amount of moisture absorbs. Cost effective and easy to maintain, okay. Can mimic a look of hardwood without the water scratches. Yes, if you go to the store, you see a lot of tiles with the look of different kind of wood. It's really interesting. And types of subway tiles include beveled, double fire, and standard ceramic tiles. I'll talk about this subway a little bit in the next slides. So as you can see, these are kind of ceramic tile. One mimics stones, the other doesn't mimic anything, it's just a regular pattern, just a design, and the other mimics perfect wood. As you can see, looks like wood, but it's not wood, it's ceramic tile. So I talk about this subway tile. Subway tile, it's a really popular tile. It's still really popular tile. It's some people call all these glazed tiles, as you can see, the different size, 4x4, 6x6, a subway. But the original subway tile is only in 3x6. This name subway came from the metro in New York City when this rectangular tile became really popular. And because it's, as you can see, it was used in the subway in New York, and so it's really resistant. And a lot of people use it as this treatment, as a backsplash. We'll talk about later. So at the very beginning, the subway only came in white color. If you go to a store, most of the time you only see it in white. But the companies, they offer different color as well. Most of the time, we need to do a special order to buy this guy because the store, they don't have this in stock, but you can use different colors with the subway tile. It's ceramic, again, it's a ceramic tile, it's not glazed, it's a ceramic tile, but as you can see here, it's really shiny. It's really shiny because they use a really strong enamel covering this surface. Because this tile, this ceramic tile is waterproofing. You can use in a shower if you want, for example. That's the only one you can use. But again, it's really shiny, really gloss. Because it's really shiny, it's really gloss, it is really slippery. Never set on the floor, okay? Only on the wall. Ceramic tile glaze. The meaning of glazed. Many people assume the word glazed means shiny or glossy. However, in the tile industry, the word is used to refer to the coat of enamel or liquid glass that is applied to almost all ceramic and porcelain tiles. Glaze is a substance rather than a description. Most tiles are glazed. Indeed, as you can see, this is one kind of glazed ceramic tile. This is another kind of glazed ceramic tile. This is another kind of glazed ceramic tile like vitreous, and this is a ceramic tile, glazed ceramic tiles you see on the floor. So they offer more resistance. They offer more how to say, resistance against moisture and traffic, and that's why they're different from the non-glazed ceramic. And what is the non-glazed ceramic or unglazed? Those guys here. Tiles are made of clay which have been fired in a kiln. If glaze is to be applied, it's done before the tile enters the kiln. The glaze then fuses to the top surface of the clay body of the tile during the fire process. In the event that no glaze have been applied, the result tile is deemed to be unglazed. One of the most popular is these guys here. terracotta ou saltilho. This terracotta saltillo, it's a tile made of natural clay. It was baked, but not in high temperature. In low temperature, it's sometimes dry on the sun, in the sun. These tiles are comparatively low in cost and high in rustic charm. Definitely, it's really beautiful. In California, it's really popular. If you go some house, some cottage in Santa Barbara, you see a lot of people using this in the kitchen, even in a porch, covered porch, not outdoor, and it's really beautiful. That's a good advantage of this guy because it's rustic. They don't care about it; doesn't match perfectly because some people like this look of rustic, this look of this something really old. The color we want to match, they want to have a coordinated color because they are practically like artisanal material. But one question, it is really, really weak. When it's inside the box, if you ever use this product, pay attention during the process of you remove this guy from inside the box. In my store, we stopped selling this saltillo. It's called saltillo because it came from a place in Mexico where this tile became really famous, but you can call it terracotta or saltillo. Anyways, back to the subject I was planning before. It's really weak. And we stopped selling it because a lot of people like to open the cases and see the product and put it back. Sometimes with this when the people handling with this saltillo, when they put it back on top of the display, the way they put it doesn't need to be so strong. Just a small impact can crack it, can break it. And I used to lose about almost 50% of the pallet I threw in the trash because only the people open the cases, take the saltillo out, look and put it back, they can break it really easy. That's why we stopped selling it. So if you use this, your contractor know that, and they need to calculate a lot of loss when they will install this saltillo. It's beautiful, but it's really, really, really fragile. Another unglazed tile is the one called quarry tile. Quarry tile is a thick tile made from natural clays and shales. The name originally referred to stone tile cut from quarries, but now is applied to these high-fire tiles that resemble the stone tile. Quarry tile is usually earth in color, ranging from brick red to various shades of tan, off-white, and gray. Some quarry tiles are temperature high enough to make them vitreous, so they are more water resistant than the semi-vitreous counterpart. Okay, this is more water resistant than the saltillo. But again, it's a ceramic, unglazed. Please don't use it outdoor, only indoor, only inside the kitchen. And this is meant to be used on the floor, not on the wall. Okay, so it's a thick tile made from natural clays and shales, as I told you. It's really beautiful, as you can see. And then after the slides, we will browse in online. I have some web page open for us, so I will show you all these materials in the homedepot.com. So for you guys to get more familiar how to browse, how to look for this product, see the price, etc. Okay, now porcelain, the most popular now. And the people, why use porcelain? Porcelain tile are ceramic tiles made from highly refined white clay. It's the same clay they use for ceramic, but in this case, it's more refined. They are fired at an extremely high temperature, around 2,500 degrees. That's why it's really dense, it's really strong, and it's really, really heavy. Oh my gosh. For nearly twice as long as the ceramic tile. So if the ceramic tile takes 2 hours baking, it will take about 4 hours baking. The result is an extremely dense, waterproof tile with a glossy surface. Glossy surface, but there are some porcelain tiles that are not glossy. You can go in your store and say, I'm looking for a porcelain tile with a matte surface. Yeah, there is a matte surface porcelain tile. There are glossy and there are matte porcelain surface. It's a little bit more, maybe what the author wants to say is a little bit more glossy because it's more dense, but it doesn't mean necessarily all the porcelain is glossy. No, you can see porcelain really, really rough, really, really matte. The density makes them wear extremely well, even under heavy traffic and in constantly wet and freezing conditions. So if you want to install outdoor in place where you have snow and hot, no problem. It will resist this change of temperature, okay? And this is one, when they say the porcelain comes in the same color throughout all the material, means the same color you see at the top of the coat of the porcelain, you see throughout all the thickness of the tile. But I need to highlight this. It doesn't mean all the porcelain tile comes like that. Some porcelain tiles comes like the ceramic tile. They only have the coat on the top and the rest comes a different color. It doesn't mean all the time the porcelain is always throughout the same color, okay? Some people say that's the basic difference, but it's not the true. Like this. This is a porcelain tile, as you can see. The surface, the face has come with this color, but the rest of the porcelain doesn't have the same color. So the color was not mixed. This pigment or this dye was not mixed with the clay during the process. It was applied before to be baked, okay? Natural stone tile. It includes minerals such as granite, marble, slate, sandstone, limestone, and quartzite. They can be found in one or two categories, depending on how it is surfaced, polished, tumbled, or cleft, natural. No matter what is the finishing, stone soaks up stains. This is true. This is the one, it's a marble granite. This is limestone, and this is sandstone. As you can see, because they are natural, it requires more care when you use these guys here. Usually, especially the sandstone and the limestone, we always suggest, please, we need to seal it before you use it, because if something drop here, if you have a coffee or ketchup, it will stain, because all these natural stone, they are porous, they have a lot of pores, and then when the stain goes inside, it's really difficult to remove it. So it requires, when you use this stone, you use to seal it, okay? So this is an example of the polished. As I told you, we have a polished, tumbled, or cleft. First is the polished. Usually granite, onyx, and travertine. This is granite, polished. This is onyx, polished. And this is travertine. It's another natural stone came from Italy, polished. I sell in my store this travertine, but not polished. It comes in totally matte. There's no finish on top. It's really beautiful, but again, it's really fragile. It breaks really easy when you handle with this material. You need to be really careful. Tumbled, natural stone tumbled, usually marble or granite, with their characteristic round edges and rough look. They are tumbled in abrasives or sometimes bathed in acid. So this is a natural, as you can see, the difference between this granite here for the other we saw before. This is a granite and marble. This is polished. Now look how it becomes when they tumble the granite and the marble. Come with this rustic look. It's really interesting, really beautiful. Some people like this imperfection, gives a look of antique, of old, but it comes like that, and they like it. It's really, really expensive material. It goes really well in a kitchen with this rustic furniture. I like this product, but it requires a lot of care. And natural, usually it's limestone or sandstone. They are split or cleft from large deposits, then cut to size with saw. This is totally natural. If you take this material and use your hands and touch the surface, you're gonna see these guys here has a lot of bumps, there's a lot of grooves, because it's sliced, it's naturally sliced, and they don't polish, they don't do any kind of high quality finishing. They like, they come with this rust, this rough and rusty look. And this is really popular in my country. In my country, use this material a lot. In Brazil, we call it, there's a different name. I always forget. Anyway, this is really popular, but again, we don't use outdoor, only use indoor, and most of the people, when install it, we seal it. We have to seal it, okay? Don't forget to talk to them, to your customer. Okay, you want natural stone, but after the installation, it must be sealed. And then there's a question here. So some customer made this question. Okay, Demetrius, I have to seal it. How often I would seal it? Guy, I get in touch with the manufacturer of the stone or the ceramic, whatever. They say, we don't know. Depends on the condition, the use of the customer. It can be every 6 months, it can be every 1 year, we never know. And then I get in touch with the company who makes the seal, the sealer, and they don't know as well. So that's the only question when people ask me to use something like that, and then we say, okay, we have to seal. They ask how often. We never know. It's something we need to look. We need, when you use it, you need to note if something is not okay, and then you have to periodically seal it. And that's another question. We can make to sell this material more difficult, because who wants to have a product, despite that it's really beautiful, what requires so much care frequently and a little bit expensive? Because the good sealer, just a gallon of good sealer, it's about $60 and doesn't cover a huge quantity of the tile. So you need to invest a lot of money to seal it periodically. I don't know how many, once a year, twice a year, or I don't know. It's something they need to look, but will require a lot of work. So explain to your customer, okay, if you want water-freeze, you don't want to have a lot of work, go with ceramic, glazed ceramic, or porcelain, okay? And for all, we talk about the ceramic and the porcelain for floor, but they can be used in the wall. And in the kitchen, when we talk about wall for kitchen, the main idea which came to my mind, or the most recursive, is the backsplash. Backsplash is this is not a product. It's really difficult to understand this backsplash. For me, it was really confused at the very beginning, because you can do backsplash with different products. That's why I put these two products here. You can use a mosaic, or you can use just a porcelain or a ceramic tile and make this backsplash. Why backsplash? Because backsplash is the area behind the sink. When you open the water and the water splash the wall, so we use this kind of treatment to protect the wall. So it should be something like that, something more glassy, something more resistant to water, to grease, to heat, like this behind the stove. So backsplash, it's really beautiful. It's something really interesting, because brings a lot of life to the kitchen. As you can see this example, this guy used this white hexagonal tile. I don't know if he used the mosaic of a tile, but he can make this beautiful combination. So backsplash is something really popular in kitchen. And most of the time, people spend a long time, look all the backsplash we have in stock, they put down, they check to home, etc. Another question, another important, really important topic I need to pass for you guys. That's why I show my face, is if you watch that video from BBC when they talk about color, I used to work with paint as well. The designer told about to make some samples to paint a spot on the wall before you choose the color. That's the common sense when you choose a color. You never buy a can of paint and just paint it. You make a test. Tile. Is it possible? Yes. Is it possible to do a test? When you go to a store and you see the box, you can tell to a customer, you don't need to buy a box. You can buy 2 or 3 pieces because they can be sold individually, and suggest to your customer, please, if you like this tile, don't decide to use it now in a project. Buy 2 or 3 tiles, take to your home and put in a place where you want to be set. And pay attention how this tile, the color he chooses, will be during the daylight, night light, artificial light, because believe me, the color changes drastically. What you see in the display in the store, it won't be the same in your customer house, because as you know, light bounces in the wall and hit the floor. You contaminate the color of the tile. Everything will contaminate this color. So ask your customer always. Don't make the decision and choose to install it. Take your time, think twice. If you don't like, go back, return this tile, get another one, and keep doing the test. Why this is really important? Because I need to highlight for you guys. I did 2 quotes last week for 2 different customers, and they want porcelain tile. And believe me, the labor is more than twice time more expensive than the material. If he expend $4,000 in materials, tile, thin set, grout, etc., the labor is going to be about $9,000. It is really expensive. Why? Because tile, it don't set the same day. If your floor is totally well prepared, which is not normal, usually we need to prepare the floor before. But if the floor is totally well prepared, you need to set the tile. When they set the tile, it takes about 48 hours for the tile, for the thin set, be cured. And then after 24 hours or 48 hours, the contractor go back to the house, and then he will need to grout it, to put that cement in between the tiles. The grout takes 36 hours to get dry or cured. And after 36 hours, they got returned to the site and do the last intervention. It's sealing. And the sealing takes about 24 hours to be dry. So we'll talk about 5 days minimum job. That's why it's really expensive. So highlight this to your customer. Guy, it takes a long time. And during this time, you cannot step on it. You cannot use the kitchen. You need to use somebody else's kitchen. You need to go to somebody's house. If you try to do this in a house, the bathroom, the kitchen, during these 5 days, you cannot use, you cannot step on it. So we won't have a kitchen. That's why it's really, really expensive. So you can make backsplash using this guy here. The name of this product is Mosaic. It's not meant to be used only as a backsplash. As you can tell, backsplash is not the name of the product. That's my conclusion. Backsplash is the intervention you will do in the wall behind the counter, behind the sink. So we can use a mosaic. In this case, this mosaic is made of pieces of marble or porcelain. You can use backsplash. You can use mosaic like those. They came in these sheets. This is made of glasses, as you can see. And the good thing about the backsplash, these mosaics for backsplash, you can cut it. You can make it. You can adjust the size, and then when you install, make different patterns. So it's something really easy to install. It's really light. It's really popular. So this is one example of mosaic for backsplash made of glass. And then came this guy here, backsplash peel stick. This is called backsplash because they meant to be used only as a backsplash. This is a material mimics metal, and as you can see, it's really light. It's not heavy. It's like a plastic with this metal finishing. Sometimes, most of them come with this peel and stick. You just peel the tape behind and stick on the wall, and that's it. This is another one, mosaic similar with this here. This is not peel and stick. This is a mosaic made of glass. You need to use a thin set or you need to use a color mastic to set. But this guy here, it's similar with the other one, but the same like this come with a foil, with a paper. When you peel, expose the stick part and you just stick in the wall. Another highlight for you is really important. One day, one guy came to me. He bought a peel stick tile, and then he came to complain. He said to me, okay, I bought this with you. I set everything in the backsplash, my customer. The next day when I arrived, all this peel stick was on top of the counter. Everything collapsed. So this product is not good. And then I get the paper, I get the material, and then when I look, some piece of paint came together with the glue. When I look at the paint, I noticed the paint was glossy, really glossy. This is another topic. All the paint for kitchen and bathroom must be satin or glossy, not high gloss, but glossy. Why? Because it's to be clean. And as you know, any glossy surface is good to receive anything to be glued. And I asked this guy, before you install this peeling stick, did you degloss the paint? Did you sand it? He said, no, that's why. You cannot peel and stick anything on top of glossy surface. So highlight this for anybody. If you want to do this, you need to degloss, okay? And again, painting for wall in kitchen and bathroom only, satin or semi-gloss, okay? Never matte, never eggshell. Eggshell we can use in the living room, can use in the bedroom, but the other one we have water, only satin or semi-gloss. Okay, going back to our slides. So this is one guy we have in stock, but a lot of people don't buy it. They don't like it. They think it's a bit tacky. The most popular definitely is these guys here. People love these mosaics. I will show more mosaics when I finish this slide, when we go to the web page. And they come with in glass, they come with metal, aluminum, natural stone. There's a lot option for mosaics, okay? And some can go on the floor and some can go in the wall. The rule is, if you see mosaic made of glass, never use in the floor, because glass, besides to be really slippery, can break. If it breaks, you can cut your foot. So don't use it on the floor, only on the wall. Like metal, you cannot use the metal mosaics on the floor, only on the wall. But the other one made of ceramic or porcelain or natural stone, you can use in the floor. So this is something really important to highlight. Why I'm showing this guy here. Remember the first slide, I showed the cases, describe if it's for wall, if it's for floor. There's another detail you need to pay attention when you buy tile, special tile. Is this guy here, shade number or lot number. Why this is important? Because when the manufacturer produces the tile per day, each line of production comes with a code. The next day will be the different code. Why this is important? Because it's a natural product. So the company, they cannot guarantee the next day the color, the shade will be the same. Because if it's more dry, it's more wet, if it's more cold, everything interferes in the process of the manufacture of the tile. So chances are for the tile produced the next day or the next week, the same color, the same style will be a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, or even though a little bit smaller. Believe me, it happens. So when you go to buy tile for your customer and ask for the vendor, please, this is a big job. I will need 13 or 14 Ks. I need to be the same lot number, because if you don't be the same lot number, look what happened. This is the same porcelain tile, the same color, but because this was different lot number for this, look the difference. It's really, really serious. After everything done, the customer knows, oh my gosh, I bought the same tile, but the lot number is different. So the difference is drastic. It's a big problem. We had a big problem like this. The same tile, the same color, but like as you can see, the shade is different. That's why shade number. But the color is the same, the material is the same manufacturer, doesn't matter. This was produced 1 week, and this was produced the week before, and the company cannot guarantee the color and the shade will be the same. So once it's done, it's done. Imagine you have to break everything to buy all over again. Your customer will be really, really mad. So again, when you go buy tire for your customer, ask for the vendor, please, I want the same lot number. So before we go to the, oh my gosh, what time is it? Yeah, 6:42. Now I would like to show some stuff I found online, and I think important for you to understand what I talk about online. Can you see this here? So when you type backsplash, usually shows for us the mosaics. These are mosaics. And that's why my big confusion at the very beginning, because is it backsplash or mosaic? Mosaic you can use as a backsplash, as you can see this here. See? But you can use whatever. You can use, for example, in a bathroom. You can use it in a shower. You can use it over the fireplace. So it's a mosaic. It's a really small tile put together in sheets like that. It can apply everywhere. And this is the most popular product to make backsplash. And then when the people ask, I'm buying backsplash, not necessarily should be mosaic, because you can use this to make backsplash. You can use tile, regular tile, like this tile, 4x4, the subway. You can use this 4x4 tile to make backsplash. The difference is this guy is individual, came 4x4. When you do the installation, it's more time consuming because the installer should set this tile, and then another tile, another tile, another tile, another tile. This guy here make the job easier because it's come in a sheet. So everything you need to do is just cut in the size and install it. How we install it? This is really important to highlight because there are some important consideration when you talk about backsplash. This is, for example, it's really popular, as you can see. Just make a different comment. This is one really popular called pebbles. These pebbles, it's natural stone, and it's a mosaic. But a lot of people using these pebbles to put in the shower as a wall, not in a wall, but as a floor. Why? Because it's really comfortable step on it. People say this is really good when you take shower and you step on top of this guy, make it like a massage on the foot. So it goes in the shower really well on the floor, not only in the wall, but can go in the floor. But again, because it's natural stone, it needs to be sealed. Look at this, there are more options. See, all the time you see, when you see the mosaic, they always show the mosaic being used as a backsplash, like this, as a backsplash, this as a backsplash in the kitchen. This is not a backsplash. This is interlock and some mosaic. We have some tiles like that individual, and it comes in mosaic like this. More backsplash, more backsplash, more backsplash. This is natural stone. Medley, it means the color is varied because it's natural. You can have the same color all the time. It's really beautiful. This goes on the floor, here's on the floor, this octagonal. So, and then again, when you know if I can install it on the floor, on the wall, my suggestion is when you go buy this material, always look at the back of the case and read the description. The manufacturer will explain if you can use on the wall and the floor or only in the wall, okay? Always read the instructions. I don't know. I've been working in this department for 3 years. I don't know on top of my head all this detail. People pointed the material for me, they took me to the aisle, so Dimitri, this is gonna be used in the wall or on the floor. I get the material, get the product, and I flip around and look a bit, I start to read together the customer. Okay, okay, the manufacturer said on the wall. So read it, because I cannot, on top of my head, know everything. I know, for common sense, if it's made of glass, we cannot use in the wall, in the floor, never, only in the wall. But some of those guys here, for example, this natural stone, probably this can be used in the wall, like this, floor and the wall. And to set this guy here. So to set this guy, you can use this because it's just a small component. You can use this product here. It's a thin set. It's a premix thin set. So because it's a small quantity, you don't need to buy this big bag. This is a thin set. It means it's made of cement. It's cement base. It can go anywhere because it's really high resistant moisture, etc. But there's another product you can use to set the tile. It's called mastic. Almost there. This Omni Grip. This is to set backsplash, like as you can see here, for a small tile. But there's one consideration to talk about this guy here. This is not thin set. The thin set, as I told you before, it's made of cement. It's cement based. It's mineral. It's inorganic. So it's totally okay if you use in a shower, if you use in outdoor. But Omni Grip, it's not thin set. It's not inorganic. This product came from a tree. It's an organic product. It's a natural adhesive. So it's not meant to be used outdoor. It's not meant to be used in a shower because it's not resistant for mold and mildew. If you use it in a wet area, this will be totally impregnated with mold and mildew. Is really dangerous. But you can use it in a backsplash. I know it's a backsplash behind the sink, but in this case, it's not so complicated if you use this Omni Grip, if you use this mastic in a backsplash than if you use in a shower. So because again, because the backsplash usually is a small project, it's just a small area to be covered, this product is really good to be used, okay? And then as the other materials, the backsplash requires to use this guy here. Because after you set the product, you need to do the grout. The grout is the cement goes in between the tile, like this here. These details around the tile must be covered because you cannot, most of the time we don't glue together, we don't put butt to butt the tile. There's a space between the tiles. So this product called grout play this role. It's the product we're gonna make the difference. We'll make the finishing in between the tiles. So as you can see, There are a lot of different color combination for tile for grout. It's really interesting. It's really time consuming. When you go to some store and you see the display with the tile, usually in the display, the company make the display with the grout, and they give the name, they put the name of the suggested grout. Okay, but again, it's totally personal. Some people like light colors. Tile with the dark grout is totally okay. I think in a big environment will be okay, and maybe in small is not okay. But something requires a lot of testing. And then when you go to a company to buy anything, always ask for charts, always ask for samples, and take to you and put in your office, because on and off you need to consult, you need to make an experiment with the color, the grout, the color, or the tile. Okay, so this is basic for us to do the installation of the floor. And again, let's go to ceramic tile. As you can see, look the quantity of ceramic offered in the market. Some in colors, like that, and the other mimicking wood. This is Ansel Amber, one of the most popular I have in my store. This is made in Spain. Look at this. It's really look like wood. It's really beautiful. It's really dense. It's really rough, so we can use in the floor with no problem to slippery. It's really nice, but the price is $21.97 the case, with only 8 in the case. And then comes different colors, different patterns. So you have to browse it. You have to browse with the customer. You need to show examples. You need to see pictures. Again, more tile, more ceramic tiles. So this doesn't mimic. This mimics wood. Datum wood is another one I have in my store. It's really popular now. And this just mimics stone. Looks like a stone, but it's not a stone. It's a ceramic with this coat on top, mimicking stone. And the sizes, as you can see here, have different sizes. 3 by 6, 6 by 24, 12 by 24, 12 by 12, 18 by 18, even 20 by 20. Like this, 24 by 24 is huge, but you don't sell in stock. This is 24 by 24 inches. So this is ceramic. So we have a lot of options for ceramic. Now let's go to porcelain. The same. Mimics natural stone. This mimic Carrara. We have this in store. And this comes in two different versions. In this case, it's polished, but I have this Carrara in matte, so we can use in the floor because it's not slippery. This polish only goes, it's better to go in the wall. And then we have other one, mimics wood, like the ceramic. When you look at the picture, you think it's wood, but it's not. We have some wood art decoration like this. I usually think about this not in the entire project, maybe in a small detail, because it's too dramatic. I think it'd be really weird if we have an entire wall with this pattern, but something we can design. We can use a computer now to show how it's gonna be if we use just a small line on the floor. But this is porcelain. It came different colors, different patterns. This is totally, it's natural, it's not damaged. It came like that if it was old. So it's really popular it's for almost 20 years. I saw this trend now. People want something with this old antique look, but it's totally new, but just faded. They make it artificial. It looks like old. And again, the different size, 6 by 24, 12 by 24, 12 by 12, 18 by 18. So it depends on the size of the kitchen. Usually the most popular is always this rectangular shape. The rectangular shape goes really well in the floor when you have a long line like that. If you have a big area, the rectangular makes this really interesting pattern. You can use square as well. I like square when it's more rustic, like the terracotta. But this porcelain mimicking, when they mimic wood, they always comes in rectangular shape, always. Never in different shape. So another important thing is about this guy here. I know you're not installer, but because you're designers, you need to know the process. Uh, Thin set is the product they use to set the tile. As you can see, we have a thin set specific for porcelain. We have a thin set specific for natural grade, and I have one goes for porcelain and for ceramic. So if the ceramic is big, you need to go with one specific for large format tile. If the porcelain is smaller than 15 by 15, we can go with the regular one. So it's something I want you to show you, I want to explain you, because it's important for you guys to know the process, how they do to install, because you need to describe it for a customer. It doesn't mean when you know the process, you have to do it. We're not handyman, we're not a ceramic installer, but as a designer, we need to know the process. So I will upload for you guys more video explaining the process of installing tile for you guys to be familiar. And to be familiar, how big is the project? Because again, it's not only said, if you need to prepare, if you have some problem in the floor, you need to use something to make the floor even leveler. So this is a product usually goes before the installation of the tile. If the customer say, I have a problem in my kitchen, I have a kind of leaking, I want to use a tile, he needs to remove all the old tile before, everything, scrape everything, and then the contractor needs to apply this product, Red-Guard. This Red-Guard will make the floor impervious. And after that, after 2 days, this gets right, you can set the tile using the thin set. So when you know the process, you know how big is the problem the customer wants. It's not only install tile, my friend, it's prepare the floor. And then if you have a problem in the floor, you need to break everything out. So that's why a lot of people, they are not using ceramic and porcelain nowadays. They go with this product here. Vinyl plank flooring. I'll post for you. This is made of vinyl, as you can see, mimics wood, but this is just a plank. They click lock. Okay, guys, as you could see, I focus in ceramic and porcelain, and I show this for you because I put more materials about this kind of materials. We have this vinyl 40 and we have a laminate 40 is the same. But as you could see in this video, it's really easy to install vinyl plank or laminate plank. Different from tile, different from ceramic and porcelain. If you see the process, the vinyl plank installation, how they got cut, how they got measured, how they got installed. Now, think about this and multiply by 10 or 20. That's gonna be the process for ceramic and porcelain. So when I talk about you guys to get familiar with the process, and that's why I will put more materials, because the customer, in general, they make questions for you like, what do you suggest? For us to suggest, or for us not suggest, for us to point out a solution, it's important for us to know the process. Okay, to do this, to install this, we need to do this, and this is the time. To install this, we need this, and this is the time. And above all, the cost. Because most of the time, the pros and the cons is always the price, how much it's gonna cost. How much is the price of the product and how much is the price for the installation. And then it's not my responsibility, it's not your responsibility to choose the material for your customer. Never choose, never suggest, I suggest it. You need to point, this is my way to work. I always shows all the options and explain really well the pros and the cons for each one. And then when the customer have to decide, he decide over his budget, how much he can spend. And then what he wants. You want durability, you want to live there forever. What do you expect of this material? No, I'm just renting. Oh, if you just rent, don't spend a lot of thousands of dollars to put ceramic and porcelain. But this is for you. You can think about the possibility to put ceramic and porcelain, but shows the options. And then this material I show now at the end, this vinyl plank, is really interesting. I'm not totally fan of this product because again, it's vinyl, it's totally plastic. We have another option, the laminates made of wood with a finishing foil. I will post the video for you for the class today. But I explained the difference between both. Almost doesn't have any difference. Vinyl is waterproof, and some companies which makes the laminate flooring, they guarantee it's waterproof as well. And then I told my customer, okay, the price is practically the same. It's only your option. If one day ask for me what do I like, I say I prefer laminate because I don't like plastic. It's personal, but it's up to you. But this vinyl flooring, it's amazing to work. One day, it was last year, before I almost finished the class, there was a couple, they came to me and they asked to buy something, to do the kitchen, a small kitchen. It was just a couple, ordinary couple, about 30 years old, young guys. And they said, well, I want to do something we can't do by ourselves. We don't have a lot of money, we're in a budget, so I want to buy something we can install. And then I told about this vinyl plank. It was Friday. And they bought maybe 10 cases, because it's a small kitchen. And they bought it, they saw the video, I showed the video, I show a lot of material, explain how to do the process, and then give the links for them to to watch the tutorials, and they bought it, this case. The next day, Saturday, I was working. And they came to me and they said, I came here only to say thank you and we're really happy with your help, and everything was okay. Say, how was okay? Say, because we did it last night. We bought the material with you, it was about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. We prepared the dinner, we give the dinner for the kids, and put the kids to sleep, and me and my wife, during the night, we install it by ourselves. We watch the video, and it's done, it's totally done. So they did by itself. It's really easy to install, and it's there forever, because this product, this company offer lifetime warranties. So it's an option. So when I want to ask you to go over this, because this is something we need to know. We need to give the direction for a customer. Don't choose, don't define. No, you should go this. No, you show the options, but the last word should be your customers. Okay, never put over your shoulder the responsibility to choose something for the customer, because you won't live there. It's not your house. And something goes wrong, he can go over you. You suggest it, and I don't like it. Okay, so be familiar with these products. Again, change your culture when you go to start to read the manuals, to start to read the folders, the material, read everything. If the customer makes some question, don't be shy. So I don't know, and get the material, go online and read everything, memorize, try to memorize, try to make notes, because that's the way we work as a designer. We need to have a good library with all this information. On and off, we need to consult them. Like I cannot memorize everything. And then go online and see the tutorials. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you guys like it. Is there any question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, what's the name of your store? I didn't know you had a store.
I work at the Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a flooring specialist there, and I work here. So I just the design is there too. Help the customer to choose the flooring. It's a big responsibility. But I work at the Home Depot. That's why I use a lot of material from the Home Depot, because there's a lot information. But you can go in Lowe's too. It's another good good store.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? I had trouble taking the quiz. For some reason, there was no space. I know, Christy. I know. It's something I don't know what's going on. But do me a favor, Christy. Everybody is prepare the question and send it by email, okay? And I promise I will fix it, because I don't know how to make it. I put the quiz, but it's not processing the part for you to put the answer. So write it, type right in your email and send to me. It's totally okay. Don't need to use. Just see the quiz, the question, and send me by email, okay? Right. That's it. Any more questions?
So I see that there's like 2 dates for projects orientation, but are we still having 2 or just 1? Because today is like October 5. And
yeah, let me see here. One is gonna be the deadline. Let me open here my documents. Okay, let me see here. Let me share this screen with you guys. All right. Yeah, today, because we didn't have this class, I have to move everything to here. So our midterm is gonna be October 19th. When I was teaching face-to-face, I always give these 2 days, last 2 weeks, for my student to dedicate integrally to the project. I didn't have any class. I didn't have any lecture. So my role was be there in the classroom. They bring the project, and I can go over and explain the project. So that's what I call orientation. Because unfortunately, we're not face to face. I need to be cannot be the same like that. But I think that's the way. Despite the fact we're not face to face, I need to give these 2 days more freely, because I know for experience how hard it is to do project. We have to do the drawings. We have 5 drawings to do. We have the mechanical drawing. It's really complicated. We have the elevation. So something really heavy. So my idea is for the next week, I'll be available for you to talk about the project. But feel free, if you don't want to do the class, don't do the class. Be more focused in the project. But I'll be available as to do orientation. Bring me quiz, bring me a question about the project. I have a difficult to make this. Anyway, something related to the project, to the drawing by itself. So for the next week, October 12th, I'll be online, but maybe I can talk about some material. But my idea is be more helping you out with the project itself. Okay.
okay. So for the project's due date, it's on October 19th.
Yeah, that's the midterm, because I think that's the midterm. It'll be the middle of the semester, huh? So for the October 19th, it's important for you guys to send me all the projects by email. Okay. So once again, won't have a class. I'll be totally, how to say, available to explain. Probably we can do make some questions. I want to do orientation, only project orientation. I can prepare something really like these materials, but want to be something heavy because my focus again is make you totally focusing in the project, the drawing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
And you said we're not going to have a midterm test, right? It's just the project?
Yeah, the
okay.
project. Yeah.
Will there be
huh?
Will there be a class on the 19th, or are we just submitting our projects?
Submitting the project. I'll be online for any questions.
Okay, but there won't be a lecture that day.
Yeah, no. I can,
okay.
If you want, I can prepare something really fast, but my idea is to help you out with the project. Is there an oral presentation? No, I don't think, when I did face-to-face, it's a good question. We did oral presentation because the class was big, you only allowed 5 minutes for each student to do the presentation. It's up to you. What do you think? Can you do that, or do you think it's easy, or just submit the project? Because it should be something part of the project, because as a designer, architect, we need to practice the presentation, because you guys will be doing this for the rest of life, talk with public. So a priori, I don't think it's necessary. I just want to receive the material, but maybe we can think about this during this week, if it's possible for each one present for 5 minutes is their own project. What do you think? No question. Okay, let's think about it if it's possible, because we're talking online. I don't know if it will be functional, but I like the idea. I like the idea, Caroline, to not only hand in the material, but each one has 5 minutes and present for everybody the project. Maybe we can do that. Okay. That's it. So that's it. Our midterm is not a test. It's just the project. It's been like that since the other teachers before me. They told me that's they do with this class. I totally agree, because this is a project class. It's a practical class. So the test should be the design of the project itself. Okay.
Is there a quiz due tonight?
Some people, I think it's gonna be, but I'm totally open for the quiz. Okay, let me show this again. I'm totally open. If you don't send today, we can send it along during the week. Chapter 4. Some people told me it's the due date was today. I don't remember setting it for today, but please, I beg you for one thing. I'm a human. If everybody send all the quizzes the same day of the project, I'll be the entire night reading all of this. If you can make it now, it would be better for me. But there's no deadline. We can give this chapter 4 at the end. But remember, we still have another chapter, not only chapter 4. We have the chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, and chapter 10. So you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters to hand in as a quiz, okay? So I know it's a lot of stuff, but we need to do these quizzes because they are important for you to know the NKBA book. So try to do as fast as you can the same time you're doing your project. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So any more questions, any debate, everything fine so far?
It's everything fine so far, thank you.
All right, so I'm finished the class today. I'll turn off the recording.